Okay, hi, this is Ryan Ahmed with you, and in this video I'm going to show you and explain to you some guidelines that you should be using on any Linux distribution to install any driver that you have on your computer. Okay, and of course those drivers will be working on Linux. First of all, let me first open the article that I've written. Okay, see, that's me, and that's my picture when I was in 25, something like that. So I start first with this very important rule that you have to open your terminal. Okay, I have a shortcut made it here, or you can just type from the applications in your GNOME system or in your KDE, whatever the way that you have to access the terminal. And the terminal here. Okay, so you can just run any terminal like so. Okay, it will start like this. So and if you are on a non-GUI system, you can just directly log in to the system, but you have to log in as a root user. Same here with a virtual terminal that you see here. Okay, the emulated terminal. And you have to log in as a root. Now I will log in as root using the command su. Hopefully it runs. Okay, yes. So you'll see that my current login is now root. Root is the administrator of the system, so you have full control on the system, and this is where you need to define things, install things for the whole system. Okay, now the command was uname -a. Now those are just like information that you should use to in the process, I mean, of installing the drivers. Okay, and all those are like threads to are leading threads, I mean, to reach the information that can help you in installing the drivers. Okay, so here it says to me the current kernel version of my Linux system. Now this command uname -a, okay, you can see it on any Unix system, FreeBSD, Solaris, Macintosh, all those Unix systems including Linux. Okay, you will have this command. Okay, -a gives you complete information about the current or the currently running kernel, okay, which is the motor of the operating system or the engine of the operating system. Now, that's in like in short, just not without going into too many details. Okay, so you have to understand that we are now, if you see here, when we are in February 27th of 2015, and we have the kernel now 3.16 and more. So any number that's after this is a very modern Linux kernel. Okay, Linux engine, another way. So if you don't have it, you have to update your kernel. Okay, so you have to go to the Synaptic Package Manager on your Debian system. You can use the command line a command named apt-get. Okay, you can apt-get install. Okay, I'm not gonna teach you how to use apt-get and Synaptic and stuff like that. You should be having such information already. If you are something like a Debian system, not a Debian, Red Hat or Fedora or CentOS, any of those, or Mandriva. I'm still used to the name Mandrake. Okay, Mandriva or SUSE Linux. All those are Red Hat based distributions. They use the command yum install package name. You install any package name here, for example KDE or whatever. Okay, so similarly with the apt-get. So using that, you have to find the package name, okay, of the kernel, which is Linux kernel. Okay, and you have to get the latest one. Okay, so you can 3 maybe 16c. This is what I have. Okay, and also you have to install the headers of the same kernel version. And remember, when you have an AMD 64, this is a 64-bit kernel which runs 64-bit systems. So this means that you should have on roughly the the least thing is i3. I know you can go less, but an i3 processor or an AMD processor, okay, should suffice. Okay, this is least requirement. Okay, now next, of course, you have to install all packages that are related to compiling your the codes from source code, which means that the programmer of those drivers, you get the drivers as written codes, okay, typed codes in text editors, okay, like gedit, kate, whatever, okay, and you use those tools, okay, to convert them into a running application. Okay, similar to, for example, this is an application like Synaptic, so it was like written in some normal text, and it's converted to computer commands. Okay, and they're made for you now as an application. This is what we call compiling the code, if you don't know. So here in Debian we use this package. Okay, this one, build essential. Okay, it will get you all the tools required to compile any application from source code to a normal app, and this includes the drivers too. Okay, the compilation process includes also the driver tools. Compiling the drivers, I mean, sorry, I made a mistake. So you have to do the same thing with Fedora and Red Hat and all those Red Hat based applications. You have to just find, because I don't have a Red Hat here, I have a Debian system, so you have to find the way that they do it to grab all those packages that are supposed to compile your source code. Okay, and usually they are called development packages. Okay, cool. Now after that, okay, we have to do the following. Now all your hardware can be USB or PCI. Okay, I mean the cards that you usually install to get your system running from the graphics card and your audio card and all that things. Okay, all these things. I mean, also the this includes also the USB cards and flash disks and whatever else. Okay, so PCI is something like this. Anything that comes similar to this, or it can be like built-in inside the motherboard. So what you see in the brown here in this image, see here in this place, the brown things here, okay, this brown area is what is the motherboard. Now this one here, the yellow ones, the yellow lines here, are where you install the PCI cards. Okay, and as I said, they can be also, some of them can be built in. Okay, they are melted inside the motherboard. Okay, not melted like in sugar, but I'm just like trying my best to explain what's going on. Okay, you don't see them as cards and separate cards, like they are standing out from the motherboard. Okay, Now, this is regarding the PCI, and there are different kinds of PCI cards: PCIe, PCI-X, PCI Express, etc., etc. Okay. Now, after that, we said you know the USB. Now, after that, what you do is you go to the terminal, and you update your database of PCI cards and USB cards. Okay, there's a database which is like the number versus the or the card number, okay, or the hardware number of that card versus its name. Okay, so the to get the name, because we need the name, so later we can copy that name from the terminal to the Google search, and then we can use that name to get the process and the method of defining and running the driver of that card. Okay, so you do this, update PCI IDs, okay, and this needs the internet, so it has to connect to the internet and download stuff for us. Okay, and this stuff, as I said, is the database, or that table of IDs versus names, and you saw like it has connected to the internet. This is my internet connection here, the traffic, and USB IDs too. So we'll use wget to download the latest package of our latest table of USB IDs. Now later, or after after this, it will say a LSPCI. Okay, so I'll clear this, and if I press it, you'll see the ID here versus the name. Okay, now please just understand that this is the USB controller, not the USB device that you plug it into your motherboard. Okay, the motherboard has its own built-in controller. This is like the socket, okay, of the USB. Cool. So don't get confused or mixed with this. Okay, mixed up with this. Now, anyways, so this is for the USB. The LSPCI. Now, in the other hand, we have LSUSB. Okay, so we see this is where each bus or each socket of the USB and what it does have connected on it. Okay, so if I install something like my maybe my telephone or my flash card, you should see a new line or a new entry inside this listing. Okay, so if you want to know it, just plug it in once, return it back once, back, you know, and you will see the change. So that change is the card that you're talking about. Okay, and then you should be copying from here, from the ID, from the ID, and this is the number, and take all that to the bottom, to the end. Okay, so for example, I want this, which is my SD card, so I can just go like this, copy that, okay, and go to Google, simply anywhere, yeah, so just like this. Okay, and you'll see people talking about this USB ID. Okay, see, install fingerprint reader, okay, install whatever, okay, webcam help. Cool. So this tells you how to install the thing that's missing from your system. Okay, and also as another guideline is that you have to understand that some hardware needs what we call the firmware. Okay, and you'll see, for example, my Wi-Fi card needs a firmware. Now the Wi-Fi card, you can see it in ifconfig, which defines the network cards and gives them their IPs. Okay, this command does that. And you see this is my WLAN, which is my Wi-Fi card. Okay, but this does not mean that because you just saw it inside ifconfig that there's this card. No, this means that there is a Linux driver working, but this Linux driver won't be like 100% working, okay, unless you install the Wi-Fi here, okay, firmware. So you have to install the firmwares. Okay, so find all the firmwares that you can install. Also, just not to forget, you have to when you want to update your Linux kernel, everything once it changes, like here if I say uname -a, okay, if this number changes just like that, without even if you take the same source code of the kernel, okay, you do not change anything in the kernel but that name, okay, and change just the character there, okay, any number, any character that's there inside the Linux kernel image name, okay. So this means that you have to like reinstall all the drivers that you have from VMware and VirtualBox. Those two need to have their virtual network drivers working, okay. Even your I mean the wireless to everything, even your graphics card. So that's why I'm warning you from now. Be careful when you do that. Also, the drivers for the I mean the graphical interface, okay, can be defined to revert to a default driver that can run everything, which is called Visa. Okay, so you have to find that definition inside this file. So you see somewhere here says driver, and FGLRX is just my or the name of my AMD ATI card driver for my VGA. So VGA card, graphics card for my GPU. So you just change this to Visa and it will go to the default driver, and you will always be running the GUI system, okay. But you have to understand there will be no 3D. Video could be corrupt and won't be working, okay. All those accelerations will be off, okay, they won't be working. Okay, so but you have to understand that also that this is just a matter of your maintenance time, so don't worry, it's okay. Okay, and later then you can reinstall all the drivers that you need to get things up and running. Okay, so that's all. So please click the likes, click the ads, click the comments, and click the subscribe button. Therefore, you can follow us and keep following us. Thanks for watching.